Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today we're playing with Hydrangea Haven, which is a beautiful stamp set. Obviously comes with a die as well, and it coordinates with these lovely papers here. Get them now while you can. January to June mini catalogue. But you can see on the one side you've got beautiful hydrangea images, and then on the reverse you've got some more generic patterns. And I have to say, you know, of all the papers, there's kind of like, you know, the greens I'm not so struck on, and these two here are not necessarily my favourites, but you know what, it's just as well because I love the backs of those. So the colours in this include Rococo Rose, which is just retiring now, but what it does include is lovely Merry Merlot, which works so well with this. And you can see I've paired it with one of the labels from the Tasteful Labels, really good staple to have in your craft stash, because it includes these beautiful stitch labels and sort of an embossed edge as well, and they layer up fabulously, including some flags and all sorts. So a really great one to have, and just a really nice simple card with some repeat stamping to help you on your way. So first thing to do obviously is to stamp our images. So I'm using this, there's two sprays that are in this stamp set, and so I thought we'll do one of each and then see which one we prefer. So I've already die cut a label, and you see this one here is that lovely stitched edging on it. And I'm going to use, I'm going to go for blues. So this one's used the pinks with some Merry Merlot. So I thought I'd go for Misty Moonlight, which I rather like as a blue because it's just not quite as deep as some of our others. So I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat, obviously that make sure with the photopolymer stamp set that we get a really good image. And then I'm just going to use a scrap bit of paper, stamp off, and then just over stamp those detailed flowers like so. While we've got the ink out, I'm going to grab my label and stamp off the sentiment in there as well. And again, just full strength Misty Moonlight. So the dies coordinate, and I'm just using a little bit of post-it note tape just to make sure that those don't move when I put them in my machine. I'm just going to pop those like so. So I've used 4 of these on the card that I've created. So these, obviously, all the dies in this die set will fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. Great if you're travelling. See here, just pop those through, and the great thing with this machine obviously is that it folds up really compact for you to take with you when we are allowed to travel. But even if you're short on space, so you can create four of those, and I say there's 2 there. So the next thing I'm going to do is a bit of repeat stamping as well. So again, either post-it note tape or post-it notes to go across. I just want to mask the top area of my card. And I'm using this slightly more detailed stamp as well. So I'm just going to repeat stamp all the way around. I really ought to have my Stampin' Pierce mat under that. Okay. And I'm just turning with each one just to get a slight variation in our pattern. And I love this sort of pretty detailed stamp, and it also looks lovely if it's layered up on top of the hydrangea head stamp as well. So I'm just kind of I'm going a bit further, but I probably want a border of around about sort of a centimetre on there. So I'm just going to come in a little bit on that one and over the top. So there we go, we've got our repeat pattern. And so the great thing about the post-it note tape is it doesn't stick to the card and comes straight off, and can easily be reused as well. So once we've done our repeat stamping, I've taken a piece of card, and so for this I've made it on a centimetre border. So I've cut a piece of card. This is 12.5 by 8.5, and then just half a centimetre smaller, so 12 by 8. And I'm just going to layer that DSP onto our piece of Misty Moonlight. And then because it's wet glue, I can just adjust to make sure that's nice and central. And run your fingers over to make sure it's adhered down, or use your bone folder if you've got inky fingers. And you can see when that's on, you've got that pattern all the way around. And I have got very inky fingers, I've just noticed. Nice blotches there. Okay. So this layer is going to go on onto my card with some dimensionals. So just grab I'm going to use my standard size dimensionals for these. So you want to make sure it's nicely supported. What we don't want is a squashed card, particularly when you're putting some layers on it afterwards. Like so. So my element here. So you then get a nice border all the way around. Just add that on there. Then I'm going to take my label and have a play with our stamped images. So I went with the other ones before, but actually we could easily... So what I wanted to do is to create a little almost extension to the label on the outside here with those. So I'm just going to have a little play around and add those on. Actually I've got sort of 6 of those. So those would actually work quite nicely with sort of 3 above and 3 below to create a little bit of a slightly different effect. So quite easy then. So we're going to pop some post-it. We're not going to put any post-it notes on this bit. Duh. Heidi. Slight madness going on. Pop a dimensional, not a post-it note, on the corner of this one. I'm going to add, so in the opposite corners I'm going to add my my elevated element. And I'm just going to use a couple of small dimensionals, the mini ones, on this one. So I'm going to add a little glue on each end. And I'm actually going to pop that like so. And again repeat that at the other end. Just press that down into place. And perhaps another one. Yep, just another one on the bottom there. I don't think I was out of shot, hopefully not. Get carried away sometimes, you know, creating. Okay, and yes, probably another one on the top there, but perhaps next what I'm going to do is actually add that flat on the top. So I've got some lifted up and dimensionals, 2 on the dimensionals. I've got another one on the front, but this one is flat onto that edge. So now I can flip that over and then add my dimensionals onto the backs of these. And I'm actually also going to add them over where a join is as well. So I want to make sure that my elevated pieces are nicely supported. And you could even double stack them if you wanted by that. I mean, just to put one on top of another on the ones on the front. But I think we'll be fine. Just put another one in there. So this is just making sure there's plenty of support for the panel and it doesn't get wonky. Then we can just go around and take my backs off. This is when you'll know you're a Stampin' Up! Crafter when you find dimensionals all over the place. I've heard some weird and wonderful stories about people finding dimensionals all over their house, and I have to say, because I'm a messy crafter, mine do migrate from my craft room out into the rest of the house. That being said, when I get my shed, hopefully they'll stay there. Then all I'm going to do now is just pop that in the centre of my panel. And there we have a pair of pretty Hydrangea Haven stamped and layered cards using Tasteful Touches labels. Oh, sorry, even Tasteful labels. So thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products, just pop along to my Stampin' Up! Shop at heidismith.stampinup.net. Follow the links in the description bar below, or pop to my video and pop to my blog and follow the links from there. Thanks. See you soon. Bye.